Welcome to Adjust Your Mirrors, the #1 empowerment podcast show on the planet. Are you in need of motivation? Are you ready to take your personal and professional life to the next level? Then you've come to the right place. Adjust Your Mirrors. This is the podcast that's devoted to helping you see more clearly by making small adjustments. And now, here's your host, Reginald C. Allen.
Hey. Yes, we're back. I'm back. Welcome back. Yes, I'm your host, Reginald C. Allen, thanking you for tuning in to another soulful show of Adjust Your Mirrors. Man, I feel like I've been gone for a minute. And like I said, welcome back. Let me tell you what happened last week. I do apologize, family. I ran my first, let me correct myself. I did not run my first 5K. I actually walked my first 5K run, which I did that last week. And I told myself, I'm going to do this walk. And after the walk, I said, I'm going to communicate that experience with the family. Family, I wish I could have been able to do it, but I was so sore. This being my first 5K run, or I should say walk, including not being in shape. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother topic, a whole nother day. But I wasn't in shape, and I decided to do this 5K walk. Now listen, had more than enough time to get in shape, okay? I actually went to the gym for a week, and then after the week, I said, whatever. I was sore because I haven't worked out in a while, but went for the week, got sore, and said, okay, I'm chilling, 5K, whatever. That's 3 miles. I'll be able to do that. Family, let me tell you something. I think I'm going to title this show the 5K lesson, because as I walked those 3 miles, there were so many principles that were going through my mind regarding this walk. Man, I could talk about so many of them, but you know what? I'm only going to talk about 2. Maybe this can be a continuation. Next week I can do another show. I don't know regarding the 5K. I don't know, but I just know that there were so many things that I jotted down in my mind, and I just want you to know, for all of you who have been involved in the 5K run, I salute you. So I let these people talk me into doing this 5K, and I'm telling you today, family, I pushed through it, which was a great thing, right? But there's a couple of lessons that I want to talk about, right? Because there's always a lesson in the madness. We just got to dig through it and we got to find out, all right? So I want you to just be encouraged. I want you to write these things down, okay? Whatever you want to accomplish in life, okay? I don't care what it is. We have to be willing to put ourselves out there. Even when we're not good, even when we're not skillful, we're not proficient, whatever words that you want to use, you have to be willing to look silly. Think about it. Hey, I'm right here. I want to go to this level. These are some of the professional objectives that I have. These are some of the personal objectives that I have. Whatever they may be, number one, you have to be willing to look silly. Now, I say that to say this. I ran this 5K, and I keep saying ran. Family, listen, I walked, okay? So when I say I ran, actually I mean I walked. So I walked this 5K. I would have never had that experience had I not been willing to look silly. Apply that to your objectives. Apply that to some of the things that you want to accomplish. Apply that to some of the goals that you have. You have to be willing to look silly. And I know that we live in this day and age where, everybody wants to be cool. I'm too cool for that. I'm too sexy for my shirt. I'm too cool. I can go for that. No. We just want to look a certain way. We don't want to look silly. But you need to understand, or I should say we all need to understand, including myself, right? If we want to live a life of purpose, we have to let go of our ego. Our ego prevents us from taking risk. And you're never going to accomplish our goals. We're never going to live a life of purpose if we're not willing to take that risk. Because listen, being willing to take the risk is one of the most important things you can do when it comes to growth. You have to be willing to risk the emotional pain of making mistakes. Because we're going to make mistakes. But if you're the type of person who says, I want to look cool. I'm too cool for school, homie. I want to look this way. And when I do everything, I want to look flawless. I want it to look effortlessly. I just want it to be so smooth, baby. It's not going to work out like that, man. You have to be willing to look silly. You have to. So think about those goals that you have right now. Think about the things that you want to accomplish in life. Are you allowing your ego to prevent you from taking the risk? Anything you want to do, you have to take a risk. And taking the risk may equate to you not knowing everything. Putting yourself out there. You might not have the skill set right now. You may not even be good at doing it right now, but just do it. You guys have heard me talk about it so many times about just even this podcast. I want to be a speaker. I want to accomplish this. I want to do. Well, you know what? Just speak. Well, you know what? I'm not good enough. No, just speak. Grab the microphone and speak. But I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. Well, guess what? You don't know what you don't know what you're doing, and you're only going to know what you're doing once you be willing to take the risk by letting go of your ego and implementing the plan that's going to allow you to look silly. Now, that might not make sense to you. How am I going to implement a plan to look silly? By just doing it. Nike says, just do it. Just do it. You're going to look silly. Yes, you might not be cool. People are going to laugh at you. People are going to laugh at you on the sidelines. But that's okay. That's okay. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And you're going to grow. You're going to develop. You're going to evolve. And guess what? You're going to look back and say, wow, I can't believe I accomplished that. But it takes you letting go of your ego and being willing to risk the emotional pain of making mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to look foolish, and it's crazy. So like, where did we go from making mistakes to help us evolve and develop to now making mistakes are considered to be unacceptable? Think about it. When you were a child, in order for you to learn how to crawl or walk, what did you have to do? You had to make mistakes. You had to fall down and get back up and look silly, and your parents are laughing at you. Ha 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 ha. But even as they're laughing at you, what are they doing? They're encouraging you to get back up. But it's amazing how those same principles, as we get older, people forget about it. No, you can't make mistakes. Well, in order for me to be who God created me to be, I'm going to make mistakes. In order for me to be who God created me to be, I have to be willing to look silly. Because listen, reaching, failing, and reaching again is the only way toward mastery of a skill. That's the only way you're going to be skillful. That's the only way we're going to be proficient, is when we stop being afraid of looking silly in the process. You're going to look silly in the process. Okay. So listen, you want to accomplish your goals. We want to be a greater version or a better version of ourselves. Be willing to look silly. I wonder how silly I looked out there walking and people just walking by. Shoo, shoo, shoo. And listen, had I been in shape, these principles, I believe, would still be something that we can implement. There are people in that race that have been doing that for years. They've run this race multiple times. But I can't say, well, I'm not going to do it because I'm not as good as those guys are. I'm not as fast. I'm not as in shape. No, man, you got to be willing to look silly. And if that means being in last place, so be it. Just get in there and complete the race. Well, I'm not as skillful as this person. I don't have the resources that this person has. That's okay. That's quite okay. Just get in the race. Be willing to look silly. People are going to laugh at you and mock you. Oh, this guy, he doesn't know what he's doing. That's okay. So let me get back. So I'm walking and I'm breathing hard and I'm thinking to myself, I should have prepared for this race. And this is what I also want to talk about. Every next level of your life demands a new version of yourself. What does that mean? In order for me to continue to run in these races, I can't be the same person. I can't continue to approach this 5K the way that I initially approached it, which means that I am going to have to become a new version of myself if I want to accomplish this 5K race. I realized I need to get in shape if I'm going to continue to do this. What plans, what goals do you have that demands a new version of yourself? If you're going to go to the next level, it's going to require a new version of yourself. And don't be afraid. Sometimes it's going to take us to become broken in order for us to become a new version of ourselves. As I was walking that race, I was broken. I was broken down to my very last compound, right? I was broken down. I'm thinking, man, the next race, the next level, I need to get in shape. Every next level of your life demands a new version of yourself. Family, whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever it is, it's okay for you to look silly throughout the process, because you understand as you look silly, it's preparing you for the next version, the next level. Okay? So with that being said, be empowered.
Thank you for listening to the Adjust Your Mirrors podcast with Reginald C. Allen. Be sure to visit the Adjust Your Mirrors private Facebook group, and don't forget to follow Reginald on Twitter at Reginald C. Allen. Please remember, when you're listening on iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating review. Until next time, be empowered.